What's up, guys? This is Sean and welcome back to the iherng podcast. And today we will answer a question from email. This is from Vanessa. Hi Sean, first of all, thank you very much for the great content. Please continue making them. Last year when I was thinking to buy my own property, I saw your video by chance when many people were watching your videos. I am 28 years old. So far, I can only afford to buy properties around 300,000. I want it to be at PJ and I don't want it to be too small. At least have 2 rooms, 800 square feet. The only place matches my criteria so far is this place. Not sure it's appropriate to mention the place. I want to buy for my own stay for a very long time and I hope it's a place really near to where I work. Because for almost 10 years, I need to travel 1 hour to work and 1 hour back. I don't have time for life other than work, eat, sleep. Because I often work long hours. I want a place where I can feel safe and easy to buy groceries. Everything was smooth. My house loan was approved almost instantly, but seller previously used this unit to apply for his business loan. I signed the booking form without knowing this fact in advance until the agent told me that we had to stop proceeding further, which is to sign LO and SPA, because they want to make sure seller can discharge it from the bank and swap it with something else. After more than a month, they can't even be 100% sure that the seller will be able to retrieve the original document from his bank. And his bank will keep the facilities agreement mentioning the unit I'm going to buy. In short, they suggest me to proceed SPA because their bank has given them a black and white to confirm that they can discharge the unit already, but they need me to bear the risk that maybe eventually my bank won't release the money due to insufficient documents because they still do not know whether can they get the original document. And everything will be cancelled and I will still need to pay the legal fees. In the future, due to the fact that it's master title, I will have difficulty selling it. As mentioned above, the facilities agreement is still with seller's bank. No one will know if it will disturb the selling process. No one knows when the seller can finish paying his business. No one knows whether Strata title can be issued. Because only if Strata title is issued, the FA with seller bank won't be able to disturb me anymore. That unit is so perfect, the look and the feel, the convenience, the price, the quality, but should I give up buying this unit because I can still say no and get back my deposit with no penalty? Sad thing is, when I search for the same good deal, it's never there. But maybe in the future, I can opt for the higher price unit, but need to wait for 5 years, I think. I hope to hear your thoughts. Thank you. So first of all, thank you very much for the email. And in conclusion, Vanessa is trying to buy this unit, but due to legal complication, you can't proceed with the purchase. And what do I think about it? In short, no, right? Because in property, in my opinion, the greatest risk is not losing money. The greatest risk is losing ownership. And before we head into that space, right, sometimes when we wonder, why do we pay so much money to lawyers? Why are we paying so much for this documentation and etc.? And after studying this for a very, very long time, right, I only noticed the sophistication that our system within the land authorities. There's a lot of law system adopted from the Australian system and the India system in terms of land ownership where we can strictly prove who is the actual registered owner for a particular land and everything has its copy. So sometimes when we want to buy or sell, whenever there's a transfer on ownership, right, the entire process needs to be documented really well. If not, there's going to be a lot of complication like this one. However, this only applies to property that is within the sub-sale market, which means whenever you buy a brand new property, all transaction, all legal documentations are governed by HDA, the Housing Development Act, where all sales and purchase agreements within the residential title projects are standardized. Means there's no hanky-panky, there's no way to charge you more before building less or whatsoever. So all of it is standardized. Hence, all of the residential home buyers are taken care of. So that applies to SOHO, small office, home office as well. So for SOVO SOFO whatsoever, all commercial title things, those are not protected. That includes commercial suites. There's also camouflage as residential suites, but it's actually commercial piece of land. So do take note whenever you want to book a particular property, do ask, is this governed by HDA? If it's not governed, it doesn't mean that it's not safe, just that it's not standardized. And usually developers will play around the payment schedule. When in a normal agreement, there's a fixed percentage where the developer will claim your bank, which is your financier, for money after they build certain things on site. For example, once you sign the SPA, it's 10%. Once I finish the foundation, it's 10%. Once I finish the substructure work or the superstructure work, it's 15%. I put in windows, another 10% or whatsoever, right? Those can be manufactured a little bit if it's not under HDA. The second thing to look out for will be old apartments. So the adoption of strata title in Malaysia is not very long only. In fact, until today, the government has this master plan of having units with strata title ready whenever the developer hands over the key to buyers. But it's a very tough thing to do. So now, if you are within the project or property development line, there's this thing called CIFUS, where the building surveyor needs to determine the share unit of all units within the apartment project before or during the construction project already. So you need to determine how much share unit a person or an owner will have after buying it, and that determines the right within the JMB meeting. Also with that, the issuance of strata title will be expedited. However, I have not come across any project that was being delivered along with strata title yet. And coming back to the old apartments, it's very common for a lot of apartments with only master title. It means the entire apartment is still within one single title. And can you do transactions still? Yes, provided the developer is still around, where it means the landowner is still around, and you'll need a letter of PA, which is power of attorney, to authorize this transaction from this owner to another owner. That's why for auction units, right, especially when the developer is winding up, is being liquidated, technically there's no landowner anymore. So for units of such that's being auctioned, right, banks usually will not finance because they are at risk. They are not certain whether can this deal go through or not, so they will not finance. It also means if you are interested in units like that, you need to pay all in cash. So they'll say somewhat can be a method of transferring the name, just that the banks will not want to take up the risk, which is exactly like this case. So now the owner took a business loan by charging the property to the bank. Charging means you take my property, you give me a loan and I use it to pay. So just in case I cannot pay for the business loan, you can take the house. Yeah, it sounds cruel, but that's exactly how it works lah. And because of this thing, it becomes a risk factor within the financing process from the bank. So dear Vanessa, my point of view, as great as it sounds, there are anytime way more deals beyond this. So I would suggest to just move on first, because why take the risk? Because you are still young and I really adore the way you think. You are picking somewhere close to your workspace so you don't have to travel as much. You prioritize time over everything else. And this is where I realize our values actually match. So it's a good thing and I would suggest to move forward from this deal. Why exactly? Again, because the ownership of property is at risk. What if you proceed with everything and the bank don't want to finance, then suddenly all burn for no reasons, and it shouldn't be that way. And this is speaking as if when you move in this property, right, it's all good. So my suggestion would be to either choose the same project, maybe the units above or the units below, or just work with the agent again. Hey, within this budget, can we have other units or not? It's fine, just continue looking for me. So what the agent will do is he will have the advertisement of, hey, I have ready buyers. Then he will go around the neighborhood or around the project asking for people whether they want to sell or not. Also, maybe take it as a sign from above or whatever religion you believe that this is not the deal for you. This may sound a little bit more superstitious or I'm just pantang about it, right? But I seriously think that you are already lucky because you noticed this before going through the entire SPA execution. If not, right, what if you do already, then you pay the lawyer already, and you pay the lawyer to tell you no, you cannot proceed with the deal. Then waste money, waste effort, then you will feel so devastated and it's hard to move on into the second property. So there's no need to get too emotional about it. Move on, move quick, and let's go. And I think that's all for this episode. Thank you very much. It's going to be a very short one. And I guess that's all for this episode. Thank you very much for sending in the email. This is a very good learning for everyone in terms of the legislation process within every transaction of properties. That's why when you look into the stack of property, especially for those who have bought properties before, right, the amount of things that you need to sign, right, sometimes you think, right, why not just transfer those into NFT and I just transfer to you? Isn't it easier? But once you sign, they need to match with the government side, they need to match with the land office side, and the documentation needs to be charged into the banks. Also on the same point, sometimes when we think that we buy a property where it's around, let's say 500,000, right? And you walk around thinking that you are worth 500,000. Not really, because the asset that you bought, you charge and you ask for a loan from the bank to pay for it, right? Actually, it belongs more to the bank. But the concept here is, if you are buying this to rent it out, then the tenants will build equity for you. If you're staying in yourself and you pay installment every month, after 30 years, the property will be yours. That's when you really own the property entirely. There's also this saying, to use the least amount of capital to gain ownership of a property to at least enjoy the potential of capital appreciation or the cash flow of it. So since we can charge the property to the bank and ask for money, right? In terms of investment, this is one of the most beautiful thing ever, because you are taking people's money to buy things that will appreciate and generate cash flow for you. Why not? Right? Anyway, that's why I really love this game. And for those who still have any questions regarding real estate, do just email me at taniherng@gmail.com, or you can just DM me on Instagram, iherng, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Ciao.
When love comes in